Welcome to IELTS7.Guru. Today we're going to work through an advantages and disadvantages essay. Today we're going to do several things. First, we're going to understand the question. We're going to look at what you really need to do a good job with this typical writing task. Then we'll create an initial layout, an essay plan. And this will help you to think of ideas to put in it, in your plan. And it will also help you to brainstorm your ideas and develop your ideas, which many people find difficult to do. So, first of all, let's look at the question. So, first of all, there is a typical background statement. In this case, these days, a large amount of food is transported large distances before it is consumed. So here it is about a large amount of food. So just to make that clearer for you. And then it asks, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this trend? And you have to write at least 250 words. So straight away we know that we have to do two things. To answer this question well, we must talk about the advantages and we must talk about the disadvantages. We also must stay on topic, which is also important. Anyway, so in order to answer the question well, we must do this. So the easiest thing we can do is have two paragraphs. So let's just start with two paragraphs like this. And this is basically our essay plan. It's not very complicated. We need an introduction, and we need a conclusion. Now, there are many ways to plan your essay, and you don't have to have just 4 paragraphs. You might have 5 or 6. It doesn't matter as long as it's easy to understand and you answer the question really well. So now we've got our very basic plan. We need to really be a bit clear about what this means. Let's make this simpler. Let's make it even simpler. Let's say, what are the advantages of... Okay, so now it is much clearer. We have an introduction, we have 1 paragraph where we must talk about the advantages, 1 paragraph where we must talk about the disadvantages, and then we must summarize this. Now, the next step is to brainstorm your ideas, and this is usually the hardest thing. Let's try and brainstorm our ideas a little bit. We are really trying to think about why this is good. Why does moving food a long way help people in some way? Now, what I like to do for my students is give them some tools to help them think about what is good about doing this. And the easiest way to do this is to start with a very simple table. Alright, so let's brainstorm some ideas. Now on the left-hand side here, I have got different ways of thinking about the question, because we want to think of how this can help some groups of people, how it can help the economy, how it can help the environment, health, society, and the same for disadvantages. Does it harm any groups of people? Does it harm the economy in some way? Does it harm the environment? Does it harm our health? Does it harm our society? Usually, you will not use all these ideas, but if you can practice thinking about this, it can help you think of 1 or 2 good ideas to put in your paragraphs here. The environment is always a good place to start. This is one possible disadvantage you could write. Because we have to transport food a long way, ships and trucks need to burn a lot of fuel, and this means more CO2 is released into the atmosphere. So that will damage the environment in some manner. We can also think about groups of people. Maybe it disadvantages local farmers. because there is more competition from other places or other countries. But it can also benefit local consumers. They have more choices, and the imported food may be cheaper, or may not be. Okay. What else can we say? We can also say this could benefit our health, because if we have a wide range of, this could also benefit our health, because if we have, this can also benefit our health, because if there is a wide range of food, vegetables and things, this means there is no shortage of food. We can also give an example of this. For example, some fruits and vegetables are not available all the time in local places. Okay, so here we actually have enough to kind of write our essay. We don't need a lot at this point. Now, like I said, you don't need to write a table when you write the essay in the exam, but it's a good way to help think about it. So you can think about, who does it help? Who does it hurt? Does it help the economy? Does it cost more money? Does it save money? For example, so maybe we can move this one here. Maybe the imported food may be cheaper, for example, if you think that. Okay, so that's enough. So we have some ideas. Now we have some ideas, and the next step is to try and take these ideas and develop our essay plan a bit more. The first thing we need to do is write some topic sentences that make these paragraphs very clear to the reader, so the IELTS examiner knows what you're going to say, and they know what will be in each paragraph. Okay, now let's put our ideas into these paragraphs, and then we can write a very simple topic sentence. Okay, now let's start by making 2 topic sentences. We want to change these questions and make them into 2 topic sentences. Now it's important to use different kinds of topic sentences. Don't use the same pattern each time. So I'm going to use a very simple topic sentence to get started, like this. First of all, there are several advantages of moving food a long way. Now have a look here. I have got moving food a long way. So just to make it clear, instead of transporting food, I've moved it. Instead of a large distance, I have said a long way. So that's just to make it a little bit different. Let's look at the next topic sentence. Now remember, the first one is about advantages, and the second one is about disadvantages. So we need to show that this is very different. So an easy way to do it is write on the other hand. Now you can write first of all. First of all is a good way to start. First of all, on the other hand. This shows that there are 2 very different ways of looking at it. If you don't like first of all, you could use on the one hand. On the one hand. So now we have on the one hand and on the other hand, which go together. Now, we have a there sentence, there are, so I want to change it. Instead, I want to say, this has some problems too. Now let's change this a little bit. This is advantages, and this is advantages too. So let's change it to a different word. Another way to say advantages is benefit. So there are several benefits of moving food a long way. On the other hand, this is some drawbacks too. Now look at this topic sentence again. I've used this. What is this? Well, this is about the first idea, or this is about the main idea that I've already talked about. So I could say this. But you notice that that is repeating it, and that's not a good idea. So it's better to change it and just write this. Okay. So now we have two topic sentences, and they are different, and we've used some different language, benefits, drawbacks, and that's a good start. So now let's put these key ideas in here. Alright, so I have copied and pasted my advantages and disadvantages from here, and I've just put them in here. So now you can see I've got a well-organized plan, and I have the benefits and the drawbacks here, and I've got two good topic sentences. So we're well on the way to having a good essay. Right, so here is our sample essay answer for this advantages and disadvantages essay. And I have added an introduction and a conclusion, and I've developed my ideas. Now I will very quickly show you how the paragraphs work and some good things in them. And if you have any questions, please, and if you have any other questions, please add them to the blog post, write them on Facebook or Google+, or even here on YouTube as well. Okay, let's look at some of the good things that are happening in this essay and that show you that it's effective and will do well. So I've got some linkers. Let's highlight these for you. Okay. Now, these linkers are good because we have two different kinds. We have first, second, and third. And down in this paragraph, we have one problem is, another issue is. Don't use the same linkers again. Use them once. This means you write in a slightly different way, and it shows you have some variety in your writing. And also notice here we have several, and here we have first, second, and third. That makes it very clear. Okay. So we have several benefits, and we have first, second, third, first, second, third, 1, 2, 3, which is the same as several. So it's very easy for the reader to understand. Now, on this other one here, we have some drawbacks. Now we have two other ways of saying drawbacks. We have problem, issue. So we know that we are still talking about drawbacks, but we've listed them. One is, another is. You could write another one is, but it's unnecessary, so we'll just leave that out. But we're also going to show you some other features here. Let's look at the other things here which have developed the essay. Maybe a little hard to see. So I've got which means, so the next part is the result. Local consumers have more choice than before. The result is, which means they can have a variety of ingredients. And so, it's another cause, and so they appreciate different kinds of cuisine. So this one idea has two positive results. We also have in other words. In other words is fun because it allows us to say this point again in another way. So here we said it can make people healthier, and here we said there is a wide range of food and there are no shortages. So we are explaining what we mean by this by using in other words. In the next paragraph, we have and so, and we have this is because. This is because is good because we're going to explain this one. So one problem is, why is it a problem? It is a problem because this will happen. And again, we've got means, so this is the result, and then there is another result. We've got another one here with which. This happens, this is true, which means this is true. So we have quite a few results in this essay. Okay, so we're going to stop here. As I said, please put some questions on YouTube, Facebook, Google+, whatever, and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll also put some of the key language or phrases from here on the post as well. Okay, thank you, and I'll talk to you next time, and hopefully we'll get some comments to discuss.